your skin will start to glow. If you are struggling with your weight, those extra pounds or kilos, they will literally shed away.
Hello, everyone. My name is Asim Gul, and I'm an integrative nutrition health coach. I welcome you all again to Back to Basics, a place where we focus on the power of basic lifestyle changes to heal ourselves. Today's topic revolves around plant based diets, one of the most transformative changes people have witnessed in the 21st century. So, if you are interested to know more about how a plant based diet works and the benefits it accrues for our body, this episode is going to be quite instrumental. Elina ended up in the wellness industry through her own challenges. In her early 20s, she had completely lost connection with her true self. She felt as if she was following someone else's plan and believed in things that weren't true. She felt depressed and anxious and suffered from horrible migraines, followed by skin breakouts. She was desperate to change her life for the better. She moved to a plant based diet to completely get rid of migraines and started practicing yoga, which made her feel safe and connected with the universe. She has completed a 500 hours registered Vinyasa Yoga teacher training program and a 450-hour comprehensive classic Pilates teacher training program. She teaches yoga to groups and individuals in Espoo and Helsinki, as well as online. She is also a certified health coach, helping people with stress management, body image issues, and transitioning into a plant based diet if they wish to. Thank you, Elena, for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm super excited to be here.
Great. So I've already gone over the introduction. That was really inspirational for me about your story, transitioning into a plant-based diet and practicing yoga. A lot of people want to know more about how a plant-based diet works. So what is a plant-based diet?
Yeah, so plant-based diet, it's a little bit different than being vegan. So plant-based diet could be pretty much any diet where you eat mostly plants, so no processed food. So obviously, most of plant-based eaters, I would say, they tend to lean more towards veganism as I do. So I eat purely vegan diet, but there can be people who eat mostly plants, but eat a little bit of meat or other animal products here and there.
So in vegan, would you say the difference between plant-based diet and vegan diet? In vegans, you said there are some processed foods as well.
Oh, yeah. So vegan diet can be any diet. You can eat pretty much anything that doesn't come from an animal. So you can be a plant-based vegan or you can be a junk food vegan as long as the food doesn't come from animals. So vegans avoid all the meat products, dairy, eggs, honey, pretty much anything. So I would say, plant-based vegan. I wouldn't necessarily define myself as a vegan. It's more like a dietary choice. But yeah, that's the main difference.
All right, that's great. So how has it been working out for you so far?
Oh my goodness. So I have been eating and living this way 8 years now, actually. So it's been an amazing journey. So it's like a second nature for me nowadays. So I don't really even need to think about it. So, like you mentioned it at the very beginning, I used to suffer from migraines. I mean, it was horrible. I had constant migraines, and having them all the time really made my life absolutely miserable. I wasn't really able to focus on my studies at the university. It really started to ruin my social life. So, after doing a little bit of research, I found that for some people, dairy could cause migraines. And I was already eating purely vegetarian, but I was still consuming some dairy products. So as soon as I quit all the dairy, my migraines went away, and also my skin cleared out. So I used to have horrible pimples on my forehead. I mean, it was very achy, and it was horrible. But yeah, everything kind of started to change. I mean,
That's
yeah.
amazing. That's quite inspirational. So that was about your journey. But if you were to tell anybody else, right, about plant-based diets, what are the major benefits of this diet?
So if you eat plant-based, I think one of the best benefits, I would say, that you get plenty of nutrients and minerals,
Hmm.
and all kinds of vitamins. So you will start seeing the results quite quickly. Like seriously, your skin will start to glow. If you are struggling with your weight, those extra pounds or kilos, they will literally shed away. You will find kind of your normal natural weight without crazy effort. I think also because plant-based foods, they have so much fiber, they are very if you eat that way, you definitely had more stable blood sugar. Oh my goodness, the list goes on, and they are plant-based diets in general. It's a very good way to reduce the risk of falling into any chronic diseases such as diabetes, cancer, or any cardiovascular illnesses.
Yeah, it's
Really,
also rich in probiotics and how you said these are the some of the common problems that people are facing today. I think fiber deficiency, not having enough fiber in their diet, is what is leading to insulin resistance. So I think plant-based diet gives you plenty of fiber that is going to keep the insulin resistance at bay and is going to just give you all the nutrients and minerals and vitamins that you would otherwise not get from animal meat. Um,
yeah.
that's great. And so, specifically talking about migraines, you said, is that true that people can actually get rid of migraines? Was it just plant-based diet for you, or was it also yoga?
I think it was probably the combination of both. So I think both those things were kind of external stressors in my life. So both kind of helped me to feel more calm and also reduce the inflammation in my body. So
That
yoga
makes sense. Yeah.
definitely, yeah. So it was definitely an extra benefit because it kind of helps you to manage your emotions and uncomfortable feelings and teaches you to breathe correctly, really. Because I think breathing is also another thing that most people don't do probably any nowadays.
That's true. No, a lot of people actually don't understand the idea of multiple stressors that they have in their life. So there's an emotional stress, then there's a physiological stress or physical stress, that biological stress that is caused by foods that they're consuming, and environmental stress, which is caused by the toxins around them. So knowing all of these stressors is what really leads to migraines and all other health issues that we are facing. So as you said, looking at multiple aspects and then targeting them and working on them is what really makes you feel better. That's what worked out for you as well. Amazing. We often hear about some myths about plant-based diets. One of them is that you don't get enough protein. People think that for getting enough protein, they do need to consume a lot of animal meat and all the dairy products. And the second myth is that you don't get enough vitamin B12
Mm.
because it's only available in animal meat or in dairy products. So what do you have to say about that? How do you answer them?
I think that those are very good questions, and those are definitely ones that I hear the most. And if we start with the protein myth, I think, well, that's definitely a big myth. Pretty much all the plant-based foods, they have more or less protein. And if you really want to get plenty of protein, you can just eat plenty of any legumes like lentils and beans, um, any kind of soy products, I would say tempeh, tofu, even like leafy greens, they are really rich in protein. And several grains, especially the pseudo grains like quinoa and amaranth, nuts and seeds, I mean, it's not an issue at all as long as you eat enough
That's
and in a variety. Yeah.
I was doing my master's in China, and I was with one of my friends who transitioned into a plant-based diet, and he said, "I'm going into WFPB." It's like, what is WFPB? He said, "A whole food plant-based diet." And I said, "Oh," he
Yeah.
said, the downside of it is that I'm hungry all the time. Is that true? That you
No, it's not true at all.
Well, he said that I'm hungry all the time and like eating fruits and vegetables and salads. And well, he was working out as well, and he had quite an athletic body. So, do you think and this is an important question for people who
Yeah.
are doing weights and strenuous workout exercises? They do need a lot of protein. Do you think even they can survive on a plant-based diet?
Oh my goodness, absolutely. Like there are so many, even like completely vegan athletes. Well, from the endurance athletes, I could mention Rich Roll. He used to do plenty of I think Ironman competitions or something like that. I mean, he's one of my superheroes. I was like, if he can do that, I can do that for sure as well. And there are even bodybuilders. I'm gonna just remember all the names, but if you just Google, you will find plenty of vegan athletes.
That's true. That's true. So what about the second myth about B12 as a very common one?
B12.
Yeah.
Yeah. So first of all, I would ask, where do animals get it? So it's a soil-based kind of bacteria or something like that. So even the animals, they need to get it first from somewhere. So, I mean, even getting that nowadays, it's not an issue at all. Most of the plant-based milks and other plant-based dairy substitutes are fortified with B12. Like if you drink soy milk or almond milk, most of them have B12 in them. Also, there are a lot of fortified nutritional yeast, which is a great source, or you can supplement very easily. And even people who eat animal products, they tend to be deficient in B12. And I think it's almost like, was it like, there was this study, I think a decade ago, that was like 50% of Americans have deficiency in B12, and 50% of Americans, they are not vegans for sure.
Not vegan. That's true.
So
But the real
animals, yeah.
the real meat eaters. And yeah, I think that makes complete sense because a lot of people don't know that B12 is not made by animals, not by plants. It's actually made by the bacteria in the soil. So
Exactly.
so the yeast, as you said, the nutritional yeast that is available, that can
Yeah.
be a good supplement for B12, and fortified foods are available. Can never really be deficient. And if that doesn't work for you, or that's something that you cannot find, you can always find a B12
Absolutely.
supplement. That's not the reason that should keep you away from plant-based diet. Definitely.
No, not at all. It's a very bad excuse nowadays.
So I've been following a lot of medical doctors and functional medicine practitioners,
Yeah.
like Dr. Neil Barnard, and he talks extensively about plant-based diet and really staying away from animal meat, and talking about how animal meat is more carcinogenic and the saturated fat in that is causing a lot of problems, focusing on a lot of the chronic disorders that we see today, be it hormonal imbalances, be it gut health issues, or be it our skin health issues. Which issues do you think plant-based diets address the most, and which of these, if anybody is facing, necessitate following a plant-based diet?
Goodness, that's a very tricky question. I would say any chronic illness which is caused by inflammation, because the inflammation that comes from first of all, like animal protein is much, much harder for the body to digest. And secondly, lots of meats that people eat nowadays, they're full of antibiotics and other kind of drugs that animals are fed in these horrible conditions where they live. So honestly, like if you have any autoimmune diseases, or if you suffer from cancer, I would highly consider switching to a plant-based diet. Even if you don't become 100% vegan, adding definitely more plant foods to your diet, I mean, that will make miracles, really.
I think so. Cutting down on the meat itself is what the starting point is. Yeah.
Exactly, and add eating more plants. It's like,
Mm.
honestly, like
That's
start
true.
eating your greens, fruits, and vegetables.
So we do keep hearing that today a lot of people are chronically inflamed, and that is what's leading to a lot of the issues and the illnesses that we're facing. So that's where the starting point is, that you say, if you want to get rid of inflammation, cut down on your animal protein intake, animal meat, animal foods, I guess. And also, so the debate is majorly about inflammation, as you say.
Exactly, because all these plant-based foods, they are very alkaline in the body. And most people in this modern Western world, they tend to have very acid bodies, which causes inflammation.
That's a
So
very
at
good
least
point.
at least that's what I believe in. And I believe that for me, adding more alkaline foods also help me to alkalize and have more this neutral blood pH, and that kind of helped me to reduce inflammation and get off migraines and heal my skin.
That's true. I think I was also reading up on how it's a lot of excessive consumption of animal foods is leading to arthritis and osteoporosis, weakening of bones.
Oh, yeah, that is very much true. I mean, people believe that cow's milk is healthy and it strengthens our bones, but honestly, like it's very acid in the body, and that kind of leaks out the calcium from the bones to alkalize the blood again.
And what
So
is
I don't,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's true. So one of the reasons, again, so that's a very good point. Your body becomes acidic, that takes out the
yeah,
calcium from the bones, brings it to
yeah.
the blood so that it can be more alkaline, to make sure the
Mm,
systems are working in the alkaline environment that our body is best made for. And so less calcium in your bones, and that's what weakens the bones and causes
yeah.
osteoporosis. Very, I think, important and very evident link that we see in how more animal foods are leading to osteoporosis. Um, One more thing about this, so what about the impact of animal foods on liver and kidneys?
Goodness, livers and kidneys. Well, I think because animal products, if they are so acid and toxic, it makes our liver and kidneys to overfunction. It can be really, how should I say, like they just need to work too much and kind of cause some sort of exhaustion from the body. So honestly, like it just doesn't sound like a good idea.
And a
So
lot
I
of
haven't
people are
done
not,
so.
a lot of
Sorry.
people are not drinking enough water, because which
Oh my
needs
goodness.
to
Yeah.
purify. And then on top of it, they're consuming so much of animal foods. It's just overburdening the kidneys, right?
Oh yeah, and because the thing is that if you eat more plants, you don't even need to drink that much water because most plants are so rich in water. Like cucumber is 90% of water, so it makes life so much easier. You get hydration just by eating foods. Of
That's
course, you
great.
need to eat water on top, but not as much.
Is it also true that more animal foods are blocking the liver pathways and sometimes also causing insulin resistance?
Well, I'm honestly like I haven't studied that as much, but I wouldn't be surprised that there is a correlation or even causation in it. Because honestly, like everything is connected, really.
Yeah, that's true, I guess. That's true. Because again, talking about inflammation, talking about so much toxins in your body that, the
Yeah.
carcinogens are bringing in terms of animal food, there's no surprise that insulin resistance is caused by all of these things, and can lead to, I guess, if not aggravate, some sort of leading to prediabetes and later can lead to more complications. That's great. Um, Okay, so if anybody is watching this video and wants to really transition into a plant-based diet, what do you think should be the starting point for them?
Well, first of all, do a little bit of research, especially if you have been a hardcore meat eater. I would highly recommend reading a couple of very good books about plant-based diets. For instance, what I read first was the legendary This China Study by
Oh,
Dr. Colin Campbell. I mean, it's one of the best. It's a massive book, but it's worth reading. Barnard, he has an amazing website and plenty of resources over there. I think he has built this, was it 21-day vegan challenge
yeah,
app where you can find lots of plant-based vegan recipes. There are so many things. So read the books, watch some YouTube videos, and see what healthy vegans, not junk food vegans or plant-based eaters, what they eat in a day. Follow inspiring blogs and find social media accounts that inspire you and encourage you to explore new ways of eating. And of course, visit my website. It's clovade.com, and I'm on social media as well. So if that helps.
that's great. That's great. I think that's very important for everybody to make any transformative change or any, I would say, big change in their lives. They need to know their reason. For example, if they're quitting smoking, I guess this is as difficult for people as quitting smoking to
Yeah,
get rid of meat. So they really need to know their reason, their motivation to
absolutely.
keep them driven on their goal and knowing why are they doing it in the first place and what is it going to get them at the end of the day. So that's great. That's great. Okay. Thank you, Lina, for being a part of Back to Basics and really helping us understand the transformative role that a plant-based diet plays for several ailments. facing us today. It's high time we watch out for the repercussions that excessive consumption of animal foods have, both on our bodies and the environment we have to live in for the next many years. Please share this video with your loved ones, and I would look forward to your comments and feedback. Until next time, take lots of care of yourself because you matter.